Hello, this is Texas Gaming Industries here, and welcome to episode 12, part 3 of my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2. In the previous episode, we got our transportation and our tourist operations started here on Mallorca Island, as well as starting to earn some money from our passenger trains on the mainland. In this episode, we are basically going to be doing the last few tasks that we need to do before we finish this era off and head to era 3. Now, there's basically a large meat packing plant not too far from here. Why not I basically supply cattle to this to make meat? I'm pretty sure many of the townsfolk will be happy to have this commodity in. Okay, it's connected. Now I just gotta do the same here. Here. Now I just need to set up a ship route between that and that. Let's see. Ship route D. And now I just need to purchase a ship that's big enough to carry livestock. And I also gotta set up some trucks to carry meat, because only one town needs it. Inca. I think I could use Park Avenue for my new truck service. Connect and connect. This will be truck route G. Fill it up to the max, 10 minutes, and I'll get 10 of these to pick up the meat. All the while, all of my other services are basically making my end payments made. But I've been spending so much, I've always been running at a loss. But it won't be too much longer, because plus I gotta build myself an HQ. I think I should have one beside the coast, somewhere. Let's basically make one of the streets basically flat, and then place down, well, my HQ. Now, I may have not mentioned, but depending on your score, based on, well, your performance so far, company score, 5 points, it will basically determine on how big your HQ will be. This is basically at level 2. There was times I had level 3 and level 4. Level 4 being the most elite, while level 1 is basically nothing more than a small shack. But with my HQ down, I feel like that I'm ready to conquer anything. Speaking of which, why are some of my roads under street when they should be country? I'm putting another ownership. Same for this one as well. And this one as well. Alright. Now, let me see. Where is that darn ship? Let's see. Ah, there it is. It only has 104 units of fuel, but that's fine. I just need to deliver at least 50 units to basically complete this assignment. My ship is carrying its load of stone. This ship has about 111 units of livestock. Let's see. There's plenty of liquor being delivered to that party house. My trucks of grain are running. But what about my express service on the mainland? It's been making so much money, it's been able to cover its operational costs and more. But I'm not so sure about my locals, though. They haven't been making a bit of a coherent profit. I think I'll probably might need to modify them a little bit. I think I'll just use this series and just replace it with 5-car trains. They'll have the speed and the space, so they'll basically look a little more up to date. But now my company is in the 1-digit million mark, which is not great. But as long as my company is still delivering goods, I'll be satisfied. Because my airport is filled to the brim with passengers wanting to travel out of Palmas. Well, on Mallorca back to the mainland. And there's a ton of people on the mainland wanting to go to, well, Mallorca. My ship will be arriving pretty soon to drop off its load of meat, well, livestock. And this ship will soon start arriving with a load of, well, fuel to be brought into town. Alright, let's see, how much did this boat make? It made about 500,000 credits. That's pretty good. That is in full swing now that the meat has arrived. Here comes ship number 3 with the fuel from the mainland being delivered to the various gas stations on the island. But jeez, Palma is growing like crazy. All of my towns are on this island. Fuel is just what the towns need right now. Now with fuel, nobody will have to worry about running low on gas. And now I was in the red, but now I'm in the black again. I'm just basically not going to invest anything more until I earn enough money. And our first loads of meat have also arrived, which is basically making our businesses a little more productive. Speaking of which, how full is my buses? There's already full to the capacity? Jeez Louise. 7 people and counting. Jeez. When you put a bus stop in the right spot in the city, you can expect a huge crowd of people wanting to ride it.
Due to your tireless work, progress is finally gaining a foothold on the island. People ready for a vacation are arriving in ever-increasing numbers. For quite some time now, the down-to-earth guest houses and nifty fincas haven't been enough to house all the guests. Modern accommodations for the masses are called for. Experience shows that even when abroad, people prefer to spend most of their time among their countrymen. That's why a variety of hotel complexes ought to be built, specially aligned to meet the very specific needs of the respective guests.
Now we come to the final task, basically supplying materials for each of these hotels. Let's find out what this hotel needs.
People from Austria are said to have destructive tendencies every now and then. Whether that's true or not, it's worth building particularly solid steel structures so that you're steeled against possible attacks.
So we need to deliver that construction site with steel. What about this one?
Neat and clean. Germans ought to feel right at home on vacation too. Which is why the hotel furnishings must be made of plastic. Then they can be easily wiped.
Alright. But what about the Swiss?
Travelers from Switzerland expect everything to run as precisely as clockwork from the canton of Jura. Special tools are needed to make sure that's the case.
So, we now have to deliver loads of, well, tools, plastic, and steel to these hotels. Plus, these towns could also use goods as well as some other commodities. And now I have finally earned enough too much debt to basically keep my company afloat. I'll need to borrow some more money to acquire some new vehicles to deliver said loads to these towns. Alright. Here for my ship dock to be placed in. Alright, that should do it for that one. There's already fuel being delivered to Palma, as well as for Inca, but we need steel brought in as well. I think a simple barge delivery will basically suffice. But I'll need plastic, and since it's not connected by water, I'll have to bring it in air. I'll have to bring it in by air. We'll put water ownership, put it in this direction, and have this one just drop off steel here. It won't be much steel, so I'm just going to use small cargo platforms. Let's see. Speaking of which, yeah, there's plenty of spots for ships to load up. Let's see. Mainland Harbor to St. Ursula Central. It's going on the other side of the island, but it's a lot faster. But since they're going to the same destination, I'm just going to put it in E1. E1 will basically deliver what's needed for the hotel. Tools. And then another ship will basically make the same route, delivering goods. Ship route E2, which was goods. I just need a pair of these ships. E1, E2. Ship route F. Yeah, I misspelled that. Fill it up with steel. Drop it off. Call this truck route H. Put a full load. Put it in blue. Wait, not blue, green. Why was I thinking it was a train or a cargo ship? Alright. I only need just 5 for this one. Alright. And I'll need one to pick up plastics. Truck, route, I will fill up, go reroute, and then I'll set up another route to pick up plastics, which is located here in Zurich, and bring it back here to be unloaded. Let's see. We'll just use white for this. Air route D. It'll be full load, and I'll purchase a. Let's see. I'll purchase this and put it on D. I don't need a whole bunch of plastics. I just need a good amount just to get everything done. It does also include one of these trucks as well. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time for all the ships to arrive at their destination, so I'm going to cut this video right here, and I'll see you all in just a quick moment. And we're back. As you may have guessed, I already got plastics and tools delivered for both the Germans and the Swiss. Now I just need to deliver the steel for the hotel for the Austrians, and I believe that should basically be it for this mission. Funny thing is, before we continue, I thought the tools could be delivered in by boat. Turns out there's a tool factory here in Vienna that's only connected to the airport. So I had a ship heading to this mainland harbor, and it was never going to be able to pick up a single load of tools unless I got a cargo train to take it down to this harbor. Yeah, bit of a whoopsie.
The large number of well-furnished accommodations make Mallorca an El Dorado for people hungry for sunshine from all over Europe. Make sure that no wishes are left to be desired, and your cash registers are filled to the brim. Meet the needs of your guests from Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. They have very different preferences.
Oh, I actually forgot about this part. Anyway, what does
People from Austria are used to good public transportation options, and breaded schnitzel cutlets too.
So we need to deliver food, and transport is okay.
Everyone says the Germans are very demanding guests, but it doesn't take much to make them happy. They like autobahns and schnapps, hard liquor.
And what about here?
Wherever they are, Mr. and Mrs. Swiss folk like it best when things are just like home, as quiet and clean as possible. When abroad, they enjoy running errands. The Swiss name for it is shopping.
So we just need to deliver alcohol, food, and goods to these towns, which we're currently doing right now. And it's actually a historic
The island of
monuments.
Mallorca has an assemblage of several cultural landmarks of historical value. The Germans like to take a look at them now and then before they head for the beach. But sadly, the structures are exposed to the emissions from increased traffic and visibly deteriorating as a result. Do something.
Yeah.
If the pollution level stays the same, continuous maintenance is the only way to prevent the ongoing decay of the masonry. And that costs plenty. The only alternative is to reduce emissions.
Reduce emissions means getting rid of my vehicles. Paying money means I'll have to pay a certain amount of money each month for the restoration. Might as well do that.
All of the island's historic edifices require restoration on a time-consuming scale. And once the last building has been brought up to snuff, it will be time for new work to be done on the first one again.
So I need to pay 400,000 credits each month. Speaking of which, I think I need to basically get out of debt somehow. I'll just put put the loan at about 50 million. I just need goods delivered, and so is food. Right now, my Austrian requirements are done, and so is my German ones.
Thanks to
And
your timely intervention, the long-term preservation of the historic buildings is ensured. The Germans are busy taking photos.
which is great. That is basically the last special mission in Era 2. And we got restored, well, those artifacts restored, we can just basically pay back some of the money I have loaned. And also put this ship into service delivering goods. Surprisingly, despite this town requiring goods, it's only 57%. Speaking of which, let's have a look at our lines. Least profitable is truck route F2, most profitable truck route D. We have no trams. Our express train has quite a bit of a balance. The only ship that's making money is ship route B, and all of our airplanes are making a profit, including our 2 cargo ones. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time for this ship to arrive, so I'm going to cut this video one more time, and I'll get back to you all once that ship arrives with the goods to finish up this final mission. And we're back, as our ship full of general goods is finally arriving at the port. Once it does so, I believe that will basically be the end of this mission. Because I think that's basically the only thing left to do, even though our town is fully growing as a result.
It's official. Mallorca is the most popular vacation paradise in all of Europe. Pale-skinned Teutonic tourists sizzle on the beaches until they're crispy as a cutlet. And you're the one who brought it all about.
And that is the final mission of Era 2. Oh, what a long experience that was. But what is in store for Era 3? Well, let's head to the main menu and find out.
Mallorca.
Now that we have Era 2 finished, we are now heading towards this particular chapter, Era 3.
The world is shifting closer together. The volume of passengers is exploding. The global flows of goods are multiplying. Meet the logistical challenges before and after the turn of the millennium.
And let's see what our first mission is in this particular one first.
China between the present and dawn in the land of the rising sun. In the 1960s, as the horrors of World War II gradually fade away, Japan's economy experiences an unprecedented boom. Thanks to strict discipline and a will towards continuous improvement, the country is catching up to the industrialized nations of the West. A fast-paced era.
Which will be in the next episode.
Mankind is...
So, if you enjoyed this episode on my Let's Play of Transport Fever 2, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to Texas Gaming Industries for new video uploads every Friday or Saturday, depending on my outside schedule. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Bye!